Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with a Simpler Stocks free video for June 7th, 2016. As you can see, it's about 48 minutes till the close. We've had another one of those days where Yellen's going to talk. Everybody was worried about it. Yellen says forget about last Friday. She's still concerned about whether she should raise, but thinks she should raise. All I know is the market sort of liked it and sort of didn't like it. So what do I mean by that? Right now, we have the futures up 13. Right when she talked, though, we had this little blip down right here, almost to 2,100. Now, you can say whatever you want that it tested its high, its old low. You can look at it in a lot of different ways. All I know in here is we bounced. Now, the thing is, all day, I have up a different screen where I show the Russell, I show the NASDAQ, I show the ESs. All day, the advanced decline has been almost exactly the same. Actually, fascinating in here, it's been between 1,100 and plus 1,300 all day. The VIX hasn't done much. You might ask why I don't use the UVXY like I have in my previous videos. It's because the UVXY is so low now, I have to wait for it to reverse split again. The bonds haven't done much. Dollar just sort of stabilizing. This is what I'm watching on the overall market. Little bull flag, or is it now exhaustion? To me, there's nothing in here yet that looks bad. This is what I watch on a 195. I watch this rectangle right here. Now, I showed last night on the Simpler Stocks on the premium forum where I email stuff. I was showing this a possible broadening top. But broadening tops are a little rough because overall they don't work that well, number one. And number two, I just wanted to point it out of what was possible. Now, there are a lot of different ways to draw this, and let me show you what I mean in here. You can go in here, and, obviously you can find any kind of pattern to your liking. But if you draw right here, sort of that was the close-up, and now we sort of overshot to the upside. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is this way. And say, stop making it complicated. This is a rectangle. This rectangle is about 2086 to 2104 is about 18 points. 18 points from 2104 gets you about 2120. And that's the simplistic way to do it. If that's true, we have at the minimum 8 more points on this. Now, one thing you have to understand about the overall ESs is number one, this. We've had other times where we've had these busts up and then it fails miserably. Number two, we have a lot of foreign markets haven't participated at all. Number three, we have the transport still really acting poorly in here. If you look at this on a unlink it and put it on a weekly chart, and then on the left, put on the SPX, put this on a weekly chart, and I think you'll see the drastic underperformance of the Dow Jones transports. Here's the SPX almost at an all-time high. Transports are literally over 1,500 points lower. Now, the thing is, the trend lately, they've both gone up. When we had the big old sell-off that August, remember, these were already sharply selling off. So the key in here is this going to be an inverse head and shoulders and this plays catch-up? Or is this going to roll over? For now, you still can't tell. All I know is that right now the market's near a new high. It hasn't shown any sign of reversing yet. And that's the whole point, is yet. So in the meantime, you need to look for longs. You need to look for shorts. Now let me go back what the overall market's doing. Right now you have the futures up 12. NASDAQ up 20. Russell outperforming again. Now this is something on our premium site that I emailed that I thought the Russell, if it broke 1150, it could easily go to 1,200. Now, this isn't like I have some secret sauce in here. All I was saying is, in here, in the scheme of things, if you take a daily chart, Thinkorswim changed around these little cogs, and I get confused with it. But all you have to do is see this. We broke right here, thin zone to 1,200. So, right now, it's up 16. So, now you see what's going on in there. Now, what do I think overall? SPX up 12. Bonds down a little, 19. They were up, over 2 points on Friday. Yeah, the advanced decline, like I said, just sort of stuck about up 1,300. Nikkei finally up 330. It's been really underperforming because of a strong yen. Like I said, the transport's up 51. They were most of the day only up like 16. So they finally had a little goose to the upside, thank goodness. You have gold up moderately 5 and crude oil up a little. Not a lot. The whole thing in here, for what I see, is you got to trade them the way you see them. I can be as bearish as I want to be. I'm not that bearish. I'm just cautious. And we're at these new peaks in here. As you see, if you go back to the news right there were so many pundits saying we were going to like infinity. So I'm the verdict's still out for me. I think in the meantime, you need to look for good stocks and bad stocks. Now, what do I mean by that? If you go to what you get on your $7 trial, and I'm going to scroll so you know what I'm talking about. You go in here and you get simpler stocks. You get the chat room where I talk from 9 to 10 in the morning, real-time scrolling. You can ask me a million questions. We go give and take. You have a half hour before the opening that we prepare, then a half hour to trade them after the opening for a half hour. You have the premium videos that are a lot more in-depth than what you're hearing now. Then you have the email alerts where I'm really proud of those. Basically, we put out stock trades and chart ideas, index and futures charts, and unusual option activity. This morning, believe it or not, I haven't posted any unusual option activity today because so much of it is just momentum trading that it's not unusual as much as it's people jumping on the bandwagon of strong stocks. But to give you an idea of our stock trades from yesterday, I showed some shorts in here. Now, we're talking about a market that's straight up today. And what's really neat is see things like STZ. You're seeing a lot of them that I posted. Let me just show you. I'm going to put these up. I'm not sure if they worked or not. I could be making a complete fool out of myself, which I've been known to do. But if you see some of these stocks, even STZ in here has had a slight rally. But you take in the Home Depots I posted in here. LAD, as you see here. Home Depot. You take LAD. You take Tesla temporarily today. And all I'm saying in here, a lot of these stocks actually went down in a great market. Now, don't think that I'm like Doug Cass or anybody that's sitting there just always bearish. I also posted some bullish charts. Now, the problem with these is some of these are defensive stocks and they didn't work that well. CAG worked okay. CLX, I said, could move either way. DFT has worked great today. GIS, another defensive stock, all bets are off because there's a rotation into the Russell and the more speculative. NBIX, here's another one that's acted great today. So the whole idea is I try to combine good ones and bad ones. Couple of them that have worked, believe it or not, even in this bad market. We were showing Tyson Foods. The whole idea that I always show on these charts is if you have a great discernible pattern on a longer term chart, that makes it a heck of a lot easier to find the short for them to work. So when you see a bear flag right here, and then you can put it on a 78 and see the bear flag, that's a good one. And check this out, market straight up for the last 2 weeks. This has gone down by the amount of the bear flag. Got downgraded today, went right to the support area that we had been posting for 2 weeks. So a lot of the things we show might be short term, but it all depends on when something plays out. If this plays out in one day, then it ended up being short term. It was ultimately wanted to go to around 60, and whether it takes 1 day or 2 weeks, it worked. Now here's another one. Now this was a long-term play that we had in here, AGU. We were showing that a lot of the agricultural stocks, because the grain's going up, that these could be great buys. Now the problem with this, you take in, let's say, corn in here. And as you see, corn just having a straight up move. That means that farmers are more willing to pay for potash, for fertilizers. Now the whole idea that I tried to show in here was this. You take potash on the left, which has had a great day, don't get me wrong. But I posted about AGU, and this is where I think the valuable part of our service is that one of these is developing a bullish pattern. One of them is already broken out. I try to post what's already moved because everybody has limited resources. You want to get the most bang for your buck. This was the one that we posted that if it broke 90, it would be on its way. The other thing about this is a big old dividend of 87 cents. That's over $3 a year. You're already getting over a 3% yield. So the whole idea, this was the one to pick. Even if this had a good day, this has already been on its way. Those are the kind of things you get for your $7 trial and for the monthly subscription. So I hope you enjoy all these. What I do tonight, just so you know, I do a premium video. Then what I do is I post index charts. Obviously, everything looks up today. Not a lot of divergence. And I try to come up with a lot of ideas, bullish and bearish, and I post them to the site. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will be talking to you tomorrow. Take care.